Hello, welcome to Bad Power Nap Guy. Me tries to beat Eggman content. So, today we have something super duper exciting. Well, maybe just super exciting, which is the Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel collab arrives. Now, this is exciting for a few reasons. Number one, I'm a fan of the Fate Stay Night anime. And I actually... I should probably, I'm not a super fan, because I have not watched all 4 things. I've watched 2 of the things. I've watched the original Fate Stay Night from, before 2010, and I watched Fate Zero just a couple weeks ago, because, actually, and I started Unlimited Blade Works. I haven't gone that far, though. But I was watching it because Japan got this collab not that long ago. In fact, I think Japan might have just ended this one, which is the second reason why this is very exciting. This is a very quick arrival from Japan. I'm pretty sure it's either still going on in Japan or I think it might have just ended maybe a week ago, if that. It's that recent. So it's very exciting news for me because it's great. It's a cool show. It's part of my growing up anime experience, I guess. Not growing up, but I'm not gonna reveal my age, but let's review it, and yeah, let's take a look. I have not watched the Heaven's Feel movie or whatever it is. I think actually this might be a collab with the Fate, not the animes or anything, but I think there's actually a Fate game app. I don't know what I'm saying, it's an app game, a Fate app game, which I think this might be collab for, but don't quote me. Let's get into it, So, first things first, it starts this Monday, wow, and it lasts for 2 weeks, wow. I don't know, that's not exciting, it's just, that's normal. But the one very important thing which I haven't gone to yet, it's a 6 stone machine, not 5 stones, 6 stones, so it should be in the same, you would think in the same kind of vein as the original Gung-Ho collab stuff before they moved them into the 10-stone machine. They used to be a 6-stone machine. I think that was the only 6-stone machine before this that I can think of or remember. So let's see. There's some monsters. There's a preview. There's a Saber altar, which I have no idea what that is because I have not finished Unlimited Blade Works or Heaven's Feel. I've only seen the Saber route and Fate Zero, and that's it. And then there's Gilgamesh in a tracksuit, which I saw a tiny bit of in Unlimited Blade Works. So yeah, it's 6 stones. There's character artwork, which maybe we should admire before we talk about the monsters. But we get a free roll, Memorial Machine, great. Everyone gets a free roll. Why do they call Gilgamesh why do they specifically say he's from Heaven's Feel? That's so random. Is he not? I think he's dressed like that in Unlimited Blade Works. Let me look it up. Gilgamesh Unlimited Blade Works. I thought I saw him dressed up like that. Yeah, he's dressed up in that tracksuit thing in there too, but, you know, whatever. One of you probably has the answer. I just don't know it. Moving on, there's another super special thing. We get a 20-stone bundle. And it's a guaranteed 6-star, so it's similar to Sao. Basically, we got Sao had the 5 6-stars, and then you pay 20 bucks, get a guaranteed 6-star. Not guaranteed which one, but it's going to be a 6-star. Like you've gotten Kirito, Asuna, Lifa, Seinen, and Yuki. I think. I'm surprised I remembered all of those. Fate is a better anime than Sao. Although Fate's not my favorite anime of all time, but I enjoyed it. I moderately enjoyed Fate. Anyways, same deal. I'll talk about if that's worth it after we do the review of the monsters. Moving on, this is just the 6 stars, yeah, 6-star machine. And lastly, there's a 1-stone magic bundle. So for 1 stone, you get, or $1, you get 1 stone and a roll in the machine generally, which includes the 6 and 5 stars. So 20 bucks for 20 stones and a 6-star, and $1 for 1 stone and anything. Moving on, there's a collab dungeon with Taiga Fujimura in it. Cool. And oh, that's so cool. There's an archer and I don't know what they are actually. I've never seen those, but I know what they're supposed to be. Cool. Let's see, skill 11 dungeon, multiplayer dungeon. There's a, oh, there's monster exchanges, cool. Let's see, oh, this is one extremely important thing, which I'll talk about in a bit. I don't know if it's on here, but it says you can exchange for the 6 stars, and there's some things you can only get in the monster exchange, so like, what else? Sakura Mato, cool, and this thing, Servant Assassin from, yeah, Servant Assassin. Let's see, blah 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 blah. And there's an MP shop monster, which is Kiriko Tomino. Die! Just kidding. Kiriko Tomine, which we'll go over in the monster review. Also, lastly and very importantly, voices are Japanese. That cannot be switched to English. Yes. No more English voices, please. Thank you. Let's see. Let's take a look at the art thing. Where was that link they had? I'm looking for that hyperlink to the art so we can admire the art. Here we go. Character artwork. Slam. There's Sakura and Assassin. And let me know if you guys are fans of Fate Stay Night. Let's see. Assist Evolution. So there's Emiya's. Is that his pipe? That's funny. I don't know what Saber Alter is. I should figure out at some point. There's Gilgamesh being. Now, we'll go over a little bit, but I don't. Gilgamesh, compared to how he is in the game and even in other games, like in Alchemist Code, which I play very, very, very casually, Gilgamesh is super strong. In this one, he's not that good, in my opinion. Kiriko Tomine. We have Lancer. We have Berserker. I was gonna say their real names, and then I stopped because that might be spoilers. There's Archer. Look at that arm. Oh my gosh. Anubis has some competition. Oh, ew. Oh gosh. There's a moth. What is that? Oh, it's just a weird moth bug. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. Distraction. Yeah. Oh, ew. Oh gosh. It's spread all over my mouse. Oh, no. That's just toilet paper. I use toilet paper as my tissues. Get over it. You got a nice long look at Archer's arms. And Emiya Shiro, with his command seals and his pipe. We got Castor, who's boring. We have an evolution of Saber. We have Tosaka Rin, a lot of people's bays. A lot of people are fans of her. I'm not a fan of her. We have Ryder, who has her chain things. We have Saber. Yes, Saber, I love you. We have Saber with her Excalibur without its windshield. Spoilers, Saber, jeez. Showing who you are. We have Shinji Mato die. We have Ilya. I don't know what the blue stuff. Oh, she uses the same magic as her mom. And oh, this part's not anything. Cool. So let's actually hop over to Pad Protic. Now, one thing before I go into these ones, they did actually. Let me go back. How do I show this? Some monsters had buffs. So when Japan got this post is going to show what the monsters were, like pre-buff, and then Yamapi rolled a bunch, and things he rolled got buffs, which included a lot of the cards. I think almost everything got some kind of buff. So I'm going to try to show those at the end because this one won't show them all. There's leader skill and awakening buffs. So cool. We went over all the details already. Let's see. Let's take a look at the monster exchange. We talked about the bundles, but here's the monster exchange things. Now, it's really important to note, which I didn't realize for a while, is that these monsters, you trade in 5 6-star GFEs for them. So it's, instead of 4, which is in between the 5 and the 10 stone machines. So 5 stone machines, for the highest rarity, you can usually trade in 4 6-star GFEs. Or 6 stars from that collab. For 10 stones, you have traded in, I believe it was 5 7-star GFEs, like really high rarity stuff, like the witches, I don't know, stuff like Valentine's Day and like Ilmana and stuff. You have to trade 5 of those, so that's super expensive. This is like in the middle. It's 5 things, but it's 6-star GFEs. So like, you know, your classic Sonias, your Scald, your Decalis, those things is what you would trade in. So here's what you can trade for Saber, not Saber, Shiro. I mean Emiya, and here's Saber. And here is Tosaka Rin, and I'm Pad Protic. I'll link this site in the description. Great site. And lastly, here's Gilg. So, let's talk about the monsters if we can find it in here. So, let's talk about 6-star radies first. There's 4 of them, which is a small amount, which is good that it's a small amount. So first off, we have Emiya Shiro. This is the evolved form, right? Yes, this is the evolved form. So he has, as you can see, he has very few awakenings, and that kind of harkens to the show in which he's not a great mage. That's not really a spoiler, that kind of comes in the first like 1 to 2 episodes. So he has very few awakenings, but he's Firelight, he's unbindable and 2 skill boosts and a voice, so he really only has like 4 awakenings, 5 if you count unbindable as one being 2 awakenings. He has super awakenings too, so he can get 3 skill boosts or he can get the finger. I'd probably recommend the finger, or FUA. FUA, I might recommend that too. Hold on, I'm cold. His leader skill is actually pretty good. So he gets up to, let's see, let's talk about his active first. Enhance all orbs for 1 turn, increase combo count by 3, and you have a 1 to 2 turn random skill charge. Is that what that means? Okay. So it's an okay active. 18 turns is a little long for what it does. It's not my favorite active in the world, but it does do a number of things. For the leader skill, here's where it's a little crazy. So for 4x attack for fire and 2x HP and recovery for light, 2.5x when 4 more combos, up to 4.5x at 8 combos. So that makes his max personal multiplier 4 times 4.5. Now, this is a buff I remember. One of the buffs to Shiro is, I think he got some awakenings, I think, but I know for sure his leader skill they added. He got buffed, and it caps at 9 combos with 5x. So he's actually a times 20 personal multiplier, which is crazy, because there's basically a 400 for leader. I mean, it's hard to get 9 combos, but you know, it's not like no Skyfall or anything. So he actually that is a really, really high, that's high. Like, I think all of the leads that have 2x, the highest of those is Dark Metatron, or the highest attack multiplier of the 2x leads is 2x HP leads is Dark Metatron. But she has no recovery. She does have a shield, which is good. But I believe this is our first 2x HP and 2x recovery leader, and it also has times 20 by himself, which is like way above all the other 2x HP leaders. Like, most of the 2x HP leaders have only times 12 personal. Dark Metatron is like the exception with times 15. So he's a lot of attack. The drawback is his team building is hard. You want to find fire and light monsters. I think it's okay if one of the monsters is like doesn't have light. Like, it's just one. The other 5 of them will have light, so you'll still have a good amount of HP recovery. But I think it's generally more important that you have fire for him, because that's where the attack comes in. But you really should try for Firelight, and that makes for a really strict team building. Like, I think the only good follow-up attacker is Fire Cotton. Napoleon and Ilmina are also pretty good. Napoleon for his enhance, I guess, and like Ilmina for her killers and stuff, and the board change. So it's overall pretty hard to find Firelight things. That's why it's difficult. But if you have his ideal team, he is really, really strong. So I think top tier. Moving on, he's an assist evolution, which I wouldn't make it. Don't make this. Based on the awakening. I mean, they're not that. It's a lot of actually weapon assist awakenings, but they're pretty situational. I'd say definitely keep. If you have, you know what? If you have 2, you can make 1. He's not a great sub, so he's only or assist. He's basically only useful as a leader, in my opinion, right now. So if you had 2, you can make the assist, but if you have just 1, for sure keep him the leader. He is a great leader. Moving on, we have SABER. So SABER is water and wind. that wind or grass? I don't know. I was gonna say, I was thinking water and wind because, I don't know, because the animation is a tornado with a mass attack for green. Water and wind makes more sense for what Saber does. You'll have to watch the show to see that stuff. But then I guess you'd say light would make the most sense, so I don't know. Anyways, she is a rainbow leader. We'll check that out a little bit. But she has some pretty nice awakenings. So she has 2 skill boosts, cool, and the main thing is that she has 2 VDPs and 1 7 combo, so a nice double 7C monster. Moving down, her active skill is recover all HP and deal 100k fixed damage to all enemies. That's fine. And then change heal, jammer, poison, and mortal poison to water. So hazard and heart change to water. That's fine, I guess. Speaking of water. Leader skill is 4x attack and reduce damage when taken by 35% when above 50% HP. So very Edward-like. In fact, let me pull up Edward in... I need to know how much she does. Very Ed-like. It's like the it's the HP conditional shield, which is cool. And 3x attack when matching 3 or more colors up to 4x at 4 colors. So she's times 12. Well, times 16, but she also got a buff, which I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it becomes 4 times 4.5. We'll check that out later, but I'm pretty sure it's more than times 16. So Ed, by the way, is a times... Where is it? Where's your leader skill? What's 3.5 times 4? 3.5... times 14, so she's times 16 pre-buff, and I'm pretty sure she gets stronger after buff. And actually, I think she also gets a type. She gets dragon type in the buff too, so you can use her on, I don't know, dragon teams if you want to. I don't know, Sherry's roots for color coverage if you want to. So that is pretty great. I love that leader skill. By the way, spoiler alert, the diamonds I would love to get from this collab are this one and Emi Ishiro. I would love to have this, just because I don't have an Ed style leader. She's strong. Now compared to Ed, oh, there's her super rating. She can get 3 VDPs, but I would probably go for the second 7 combo, TBH. And then so Ed gets 2 7Cs and 1. Does he even get a VDP? Am I crazy? He doesn't get a VDP. He gets skill charge. I mean, his super rating can get VDP, but. So Ed has double 7C, so for the most part Ed will be doing more damage personally than Saber will. And again, comparing to Ed, his attack multiplier is lower, but he does have 2 7 combos. And also it's easier to go to match combos for Ed more than the colors. So that's the trade-off, I guess. But I'd be very happy to get a Saber. And she's pretty. That's a pretty good shield. Okay, and she's an evolution, which also is a pretty, it's a leader. It's a leader, we'll say that. Let's take a look at it. So she is now Dark Fire, and she lost the VDPs and got a bunch of those, like less than 50% HP awakenings. So you can probably guess that she's going to be Metatron-y in her leader skill. Active skill change 2, reduce HP by 50, deal 200x dark damage to an enemy, and unlock all orbs, and change all orbs to fire, water, wood, and dark. Interesting. It's probably useful mostly for herself. Yeah. Let's take a look at it. So 3x is pretty short. That's a short, very short cooldown for the active skill. Leader skill is 3x attack when below 80%, Metatron level, so that's pretty good. 1.5 for dark. Okay, so 3. She only gets times. What's 9 times 1.5? So she's times 13.5 by herself. Not a lot, but she is pretty tanky. It's tankiness wise, she's somewhere around the Sonya level, so 1.5x HP, and then a shield on top of 25% shield on top of that. So green and blue Sonya tankiness, but stronger than they are. I believe she's stronger. Is she? Let me confirm my things that I'm saying. Sonya. I should really know, but I haven't used the Sonyas in a while, so like, it's hard to remember sometimes, you know. 1.5 and oh yeah, way stronger. Sonya's personal is only times 7.5. Remember we used that and that was ultra meta. Okay, so if I only had one Saber, I'd do the other one. This one not so much, but I think there might be some fans of her Saber Alter. I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. This is her assist evolution, so a finger HP and a less than 50% HP bet. It's okay. If I got a Saber, I wouldn't make this assist. So next we have Tosaka Rin, who is another Firelight. We got 2 Firelights in this, and by the way, Tosaka Rin is actually a pretty good Miyashiro sub. I mean, she's not like amazing, because her damage is linked to having high HP, which isn't guaranteed, or a certain threshold of HP percentage-wise, which isn't guaranteed when you're running Shiro or anything. But hey, let's see. But she has 3 of those awakenings, and she also has a follow-up attack, cool, and unbindable. The rest of her awakenings are pretty lackluster, or they're not lackluster. They're just not much to mention. They're good. It's good to be unbindable and have SBR and skill boost. Let's see. Oops. Unlock all orbs, create 2 fire and light orbs at random on a very short cooldown, 2-turn cooldown. Now, I guess it helps for her own activation, which is 3.5x attack and reduced damage when matching fire and light, 5x attack and reduced damage 25 when matching the 6 or more connected. So one of her buffs I know is that it became 5 or more connected, and I don't remember if the multiplier changed. We'll go check later, but for sure I know it's 5 connected, not 6 now, which makes her much easier to use apparently, because you can do follow-up attacks, and that works. 5 is easier than 6 significantly apparently. I don't know, as people are saying on the internet. So she, I think, is pretty unique in that I think she's the first pretty like good leader who uses a double shield. I can't think of any leader who has like a double shield kind of thing. So I think the 2 shields together still isn't necessarily as good as it's not as you know what, let me look this up. 0.75 times 0.75. Yeah, it's not as good as a hard cross level shield, which is a 50% shield. Each Tosaka Rin herself will shield like 44% of the damage, is what I'm saying. So she's only going to take 56% of the damage. That's what my math is saying. That might be wrong, because bad math. Let me actually see if it lines up. 31. Yeah. So basically, when you have both of them, she's only going to be taking 30%. If you have two Rins and activate the shield, both shields, you're only going to be taking 31% of the damage you normally take, which is pretty cool. In terms of HP, that ends up being I'm doing some quick maths here. Hold on. 1 divided by. It's kind of like your HP is times 3. Effectively, that's what my math is saying. That might be wrong, but is that wrong? I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure it means your HP is like. You know what? I'm not gonna talk about that part. No. My math is not good, but I do know it is basically it's a 68% shield. There you go, with a pretty good multiplier. Pretty sure the multiplier is higher too, but. So she's not a bad leader. I think she'd be I'd be decently happy to get her. She'd be my like, oh, that's cool. If I got 1 diamond and that was her, I'd be like, oh, cool. But I wouldn't be like, wow, Shiro or anything like that. But she's like, oh, it's not bad. It'd be interesting enough to try out. Unfortunately, her active skill does not guarantee her own activation. If you have 0 fires or lights, the active skill is not going to make it for you. But you can inherit whatever you want on top of her, so that's fine. I'd probably just put a Saria on there or something. That seems like it would be a good inherit for her. And again, she's a pretty good follow-up attack option for Shiro. There's not that many Firelight follow-up attacks. Lastly, of the 6 stars, we're taking a long time in this video. We have Gilgamesh, 3 fingers, guard break, and unbindable. Cool. 2 skill boost. Cool. Okay. He can get 7 combo or 10 combo. I would probably go for the 10 combo on him because his leader skill, let's talk about active skill first. For 1 turn, 5x for gods, a pretty big god type spike. So that's a, you know, Deanna, Apaluo level, Wise Dragon level, and 150k damage 5 times. Reminds me a lot of, what's his name? Pride. Well, I don't know what his, from Fullmetal Alchemist, what his real name is, but he was Pride. Or was he Wrath? He's one of them. Eye patch sword. You know. I don't know, but you know. Is he Pride or Wrath? Gosh, I don't remember. But this guy's a 7x6 leader, no Skyfall, and 4x tech when there's 12 or fewer orbs remaining, and 4x tech when 8 or X more combos. So combo based and X orbs remaining left on him. So as a leader, as a 7x6 leader, that's actually a very high multiplier just from an attack multiplier level. That is, I think, maybe one of the highest, if not the highest that I can think of the combo based, the combo-based 7x6 leaders. However, that's very difficult to activate because you really got to try to make the 12 or less parts happen. That means I guess you can leave 4 combos, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of work, and you have to get 80 or extra more, so you can't blob everything. And I think the worst part is actually that he has no shield or recovery. If he had, or HP. If he had one of those, if he had HP or shielding, I would be more excited about him. So overall, he's not my favorite. He'd be, I don't know if he's a great sub for anything either. 3 Fingers is, and Guard Break isn't really that much for me to consider it being like a wow, like what a good sub, you know? He'd be, I think his best use I can think of is probably a Dark Metatron Spike. 5x for gods is a lot. But we do have other spikes the last 2 turns, so I think, I don't know, the gemstones might still be a better option. But if you don't have those, then you can roll in Valentine's, because that should be coming up soonish. And that's a great place to get some gemstones, so maybe don't roll out for this one. If, by the way, if you're newish and don't have any gemstones, just... Valentine's might be a better one to roll in if you don't have gemstones. Actually, probably definitely better if you're a non-IEP, new, and don't have gemstones. Gemstone princesses. You should probably roll in Valentine's and not this. Moving on to the 5 stars. Now again, this is a 6-node machine, so I would expect the 5 stars and the 6 stars to be better than maybe a lot of the other stuff like the trash in Sao and like all like Yu Yu Hakusho, Fullmetal Alchemist. All the 5 stars tend to not be good, with some exceptions, but for the most part, trash 5 stars. And this collab kind of does that. They're not like stellar, like, oh my gosh, like these are great. There's nothing like, I don't know, Dragon Ball to the 10 stone 5 stars, but they're somewhere in the middle where they're like, they do all have a use. Let's look at it. Here's Ilya's Veal. So 3 Fingers, an L unlock, and 2 skill boost. It's fine, not great awakenings. Now her active is a different story. Her active is for 2 turns, increase attack by 30% for each, so 1 times 1.3 for each L attack awakening on the team. So this is unique, and this is actually she's basically another gemstone princess, except with L unlock and awakenings. Granted, no one really runs like L unlock teams, like that's not really a thing. I don't know who has like, I can't remember who has like ton of L unlocks, but it's a niche, and if there ever is a leader that is like that, or a team that fits that description, then she'll be a great inherit for that team. So this is not bad to have. This is not a bad niche to fill. And it's 2 turns too, and it's the same level as the other gemstone princesses. Next we have Shinji Mato. Get out of here, you loser! So for one, his awakenings are... Oh, and also Ilya is... We don't care that much about her. Her leader skill is not that good. Now we have Shinji Mato, who... Mato? I don't know what it is. Maybe Mato. Increase combo count by 1, lock all orbs. So he's a full orb lock, which, again, if you weren't here for the Persona collabs and you didn't farm yourself some Bufus, here's a full orb lock. Or if you don't have a Mega Sherry's Fruits, here is a full orb lock. Again, it has its uses for if difficult dungeons that have a lot of spinners. Locking orbs is great. you know. Leader skill, it's actually decently high for 5-star, times 100. And what else? Having your HP full is kind of a lot to ask though. You might as well just use Zeusverse if you're gonna use this guy. It's kind of what it comes down to. He does at least have high recovery, so it'll be easy for him to heal back to full. But it'll probably be hard for you to kill anything when you're not full. But I guess he's better than Zeus. I don't think Zeus has a recovery boost. I can't remember if he does, honestly. But hey, at least Shinji has that going for him. Next we have Archer with the big arm. 3 fingers and a guard break, very similar to Gilgamesh. Wait, except he's, you know, bindable. They could have made this guy a 6-star, but I'm not going to say anything else. Not going to give any spoilers. Let's see. He got Super Awakenings 2. Let's see. Active for 1 turn, 2 extra fire, and replace all orbs. So he's a Maya Keiji board shuffle. I wouldn't be mad to roll this guy, because I don't have a Maya Keiji. I don't have a board shuffle, which is useful for some things. Leader skill, 1.5x. We're not going to talk about his leader skill. Not going to talk about it. Next, we have Lancer, who has a VDP and 3 water orb enhances and a skill. Interesting assortment of things. Probably not a great VDP because he only has that 1 HP greater than awakening, and you usually want more personal damage awakenings for a VDP monster. But let's keep going. Unlock all orbs, change top to water and bottom to fire. So a double robe maker is useful for farming things. They're always useful to have for like Kamiya Kaoru and Shantoto. Those guys are great for stuff like Zeus Dios, and you make 2 rows and you can make like 7 or 8 combos guaranteed on like a Kaide team if you need it for some combo shield floor. Pretty good. Like, has its uses. We're not talking about leader skill. Oh, it's a survive type. Huh. Okay. That could be useful for some cheese stuff. Next we have, I was gonna say his real name. We have Berserker, who is 3 L unlocks. Cool, so if you want to run Ilias, you can... Not gonna spoil anything. Let's see. Active skill, recover all HP, unlock orbs, and reduce damage taken by 50. That's pretty good inherit for teams like SABER or Edward who need HP and need to survive things. It's not like you would need it all the time, but like it's not bad for recover all HP. Let's see, leader skill we're not going to talk about. Yeah, not talking about that. It is a Edward type thing, but it's too weak. Too weak. No. I guess he's like a if you want to kind of feel like using Edward, but be worse, you could use this guy. Next we have Ryder, who has a follow-up attack and 10 combo. Cool. Let's see. Act skill delays enemy for 3 turns, deal 200x, recover 10%. Okay, this is the first active that's not that exciting, so we're not gonna care about this. And leader skill is also not that exciting. Yeah. I guess if you really wanted to, you could use her as like a 7x6 leader for Kirito or Dark Athena or something, but like probably shouldn't have those or be using those unless it's all you have. Next we have Caster, who has 3 killers. That's cool. 2 devils and 1 physical for some reason. So useful if you don't have double devil killers or a devil physical killer. And she can get another physical killer, so she can kill some very specific monsters a lot. For 1 turn void, attribute absorb. So she's a color absorb void. I think if you've been rolling Super Godfest, you probably have at least one of Greco-Roman 3, which is Uranus, Cronus, Hestia, that pantheon, which has color absorb voids. You probably have that by now, but you might not. So useful. Change far left and far right to dark. Again, double columns have their uses for things. I wish it made hearts, but you know, I think it could have some farming uses. Yeah. Although I think generally rows are better for farming. Not talking about the leader skill. So that's all the stuff in the machine. Let's take a look at the monster exchange. So you can get Sakura, Sakura, Mato, and let's see. So a green Odin level bind, awoken skill and bind clear, and then a movement time. That's pretty good. It's not a bad inherit to put over top. I would, if I got her, I think she's one of the ones, like the farmable monster exchange ones. That you can like farm up whatever it is, and then from the descend dungeon, and then trade for her like that. So I might get her, and if she is assistable, I actually don't know if she's assistable. If she is assistable, I'd probably just put her on top of my Joker, who is my bind clear. She's also unbindable, so she like doesn't not work to just put on certain like she doesn't work for, you know, certain type teams because she's balanced. So like she won't work on Dark Metatron, but she will work for like Barbara Julie if you really need a Woken Bind Clear or a follow-up attack. She has that, but I don't know if I'd use this slot for Barbara Julie for her. Times 81. 10x recovery. Oh. Interesting. She's not awful. I mean, she's not great. Don't get me wrong, she's not great as a leader, but like she's for a farmable monster, that's like not the worst. I mean, I don't know. I'm just surprised. And then it's not bad. You'll get 5,000 HP or 4,000, 7,000 with if you don't limit break, like 7,000 HP, so 14,000 HP for free every turn. So that's interesting. We have Assassin here. These are his awakenings. Not that exciting. It's a pretty unique active skill. It does like things, makes rows. I'll probably try to grab one of him. His leader skill, pretty high, times 16, but fixed 4-second move time, so we're not going into that. Again, if he's assistable, that would be good for farming, but I don't know if he is or not. So MP shop, we have Kirei Kotomine, who has these awakenings. Kirei Kotomine, you suck. Let's see, Fire, Light, Dark, 2-turn. It's okay active. I wish if it was a bicolor, that'd be like wow, but it's a tricolor. For the, you know, bicolor rehaste strategies for ranking dungeons. Let's see, and he's a color cross leader, which, you know, you can, I wouldn't buy him. And you get this girl from beating a dungeon once. Not amazing awakenings. Cover 30% of max HP. No. And then we have, this is the Descend boss or something. Another thing you can get. He gives a lot of bind resist. Or not bind, blind resist. That's random. He's poison. poison meta. So that is everything. Oh, let's talk about let's go look at the buffs. Let me skip top to the buffs. So unfortunately the buffs don't show like the monster with the buffs. It just shows like the buff. So you kind of have to remember. So Emishiro at least has the leader skill here. So like I said, he's times 20 attack. And he got some stats too, which is good. So we got an awakening, which is a finger. Cool. This thing, his weapon assist just got the stat buff. It didn't get any awakening buffs. So we talked about that already. So Saber, okay, it was correct. So the max and the min multiplier for the rainbows increased to 4 times 4.5. So she can become strong. 4 times 4.5. Times 18. Wow, that's like Yogg level damage. And she got another finger. Cool, nice, good job, Saber. I like. And she got dragon type and more stats. Cool. Let's see. The Saber Alter got an attack boost as well, making her 3 times 3.5 times 1.5, which is a number I don't know. So 26.2. Oops, no, that's no. So she's times 15.75 personal. That's not bad. That's higher than Dark Metatron. I mean, you know, not she shouldn't have like as good of like a shield or HP and all that stuff. But actually, her shield is the same. But she's Rainbow. Actually, she's pretty similar to Dark Metatron. She's the tiniest bit higher attack, but unfortunately, she's not as tanky HP wise. So, you know, and you also want to be Rainbow Dark, which is super difficult to get all your monsters. I mean, there's like Dark Kali and like Dark Riche, and I guess you can use Ideal, but I don't know, who's gonna be like Dark Green and you're Dark, I don't know, that seems like a lot and pretty annoying, and you're Dark Blue, so I don't know about that. Tosocket Rain, okay, I was correct, she didn't get an attack multiplier, but they made the second shield a 5 orb thing, and she got more fingers, great. Gilgamesh got the least buffs, but he did actually get buffed, which is surprising because Yamapi didn't roll him. I think I heard Yamapi rolled literally everything else in the collab except Gilgamesh. So everyone was thinking Gilgamesh was the only one not going to get buffed, but at least he got a pity buff, basically. Let's see. Ilya got a follow-up attack and got physical type. Shinji got, you know, they got these things. I'll just scroll through these guys briefly because none of them are that exciting. Except for maybe Archer. Let me check what Archer was. Archer, where are you at? Oh, he's still not good. I mean, I guess you can get double 7 combos now with Super Awakenings. Anyways, so overall, sorry for the fast scroll. My thoughts on this collab is overall, one sad thing I'm gonna say first, one sad news bears is that we didn't get Gintama, and we didn't get, and I'm pretty sure we're not gonna get this, Yokai Watch. We didn't get Gintama or Yokai Watch. Those two collabs, I think, are better than this one. Just because the 5-star rarity has better things. Because those two collabs had a lot of really good weapon assists in the 5 stars. And they also had pretty good top prizes. Like, well, we're not going to get it, so it doesn't really matter. But I think there's an SS rank card in the in Yokai Watch. And there's some pretty good leaders in Gintama too. So those two are better than this one to roll in generally, like to roll a lot of stones in. This one, I will say, is better than Sword Art Online to roll in. I think it's also better than Fullmetal Alchemist, Yu Yu Hakusho to roll in, all the other 5 stone machines to roll in. Because, slightly, because for all of those, there's usually only one monster that's worth getting, like you usually only want Ed. Ed is the most, it's like probably the worst monster from, you know, FMA. Yusuke is the one monster that's good from Yu Yu Hakusho, so you don't really want to roll those because you're probably not going to get that one monster. Especially even in the 6-star region, like Ed has like, you know, Alphonse, I don't know how to say it, but like which is okay, but like a lot of these 5-stone, a lot of the 5-stone machines, they only have one good 6-star. Like Sword Art Online 2 actually had, I want to say, maybe you really want sign-in, but like, do you really need it? Like, no. This one has only 4 6-stars, and I'd say 2.5 of them are good. Like Emishiro is like really good. That's a strong leader. And SABER is basically, I think you can compare it to Edward Elric. Like she's that kind of leader. And then Rin is even like, I wouldn't mind, she'd add diversity to my leader style box. Gilgamesh is the only one that I'm not like a huge fan of, but like if you're good at the game, you can do really well with Gilgamesh. Times 16 is like a really high multiplier for 7x6. So the top prize of this collab is, all I'm trying to say is the top prizes of this collab are better than a lot of the 5-stone machines. And then the 5 stars, they're not like I need this thing like now, but they all like at least have their uses compared to a lot of the 5-stone machine 5 stars where they like have basically no uses. So my overall thoughts, should you roll in this machine? I'd say if you're a fan, you can roll some. Me personally, I'm gonna roll till I get a diamond. That's what I'm gonna do. And the other question is, should you exchange? There's two other questions. There's now 3 questions these days. Should you roll? I'd say roll some. If you're a fan, yeah, sure, roll. And I wouldn't mind ILY. The other thing, you know, among the 5-star rarities, they have some usage, and then a lot of the diamonds have good value too. Like more than half of the diamonds are good. Should you exchange? But I wouldn't roll out in this one. I would say for other things like Valentine's or, you know, Super Godfest, or the Samurai Godfest, which will probably come soon. Samurai 3 Godfest. That's a good one. Now, should you exchange? I would say don't exchange. While Emiya and SABER are pretty good, I don't think that they're worth 5 GFEs. Unless you somehow like roll and then you get like 5 Gilgameshes or something, then I'd say sure, exchange some of those. But otherwise I wouldn't say they're worth 5 GFEs. I think it's debatable if they're like as good as Dark Metatron or anything. And if you're a long-time endgame player, you probably have... Like, you don't need these guys. Like, they're not, like... If you have Dark Metatron and stuff, like, they're not gonna, like, beat her out. But they're, like, pretty good. Like, I don't know. SABER's, like... I don't know. They're, like, not bad. I'd probably put SABER kind of on the Eddie, Riche level. Shiro maybe better than that. Shiro's somewhere between that level and Dark Metatron. Simply for the fact that he has a lot of HP and a lot of recovery and a lot of attack. Yeah. Now, should you buy the 20 stone roll? I would say, actually, if you don't mind spending any amount of money on this game, I would say for sure buy. It's just my opinion, I would say, if you don't mind spending money on the games, like, you should buy that $20 roll, because there's only 4 6-stars, right? Let's check it. There's only 4 6-stars, and like 2/3 of them are good. Like the only one, like, and Gilgamesh could be used as FMI6 if you really wanted to, but if you have a Dark Metatron, he's a good spike for her. So like, I don't know, like you have a pretty good chance of getting something good compared to if they for like Sao or something, or like there was like only Sinan and like Asuna that people really wanted. Like, arguably, like, at worst, like 2 of these guys, like half of them are good to get. You could, if you like Rin, 3/4 of this is good. So I'd say it's a pretty worth roll. Now, if I get Gilgamesh, I'm gonna probably get this, and if I get Gilgamesh, then I'm gonna be super sad. I hope I don't get Gilgamesh. So yeah, I would get that. Overall, what I personally would hope for, I'm probably gonna get this roll. And then I'm gonna roll maybe till I get another diamond. Rate-wise, I believe it was 10. Oh, I didn't talk about the rate. I should have said that. Sorry, excuse me. How did I forget that? The rates, I believe it is 10% only for a diamond, so a little bit rough there. But I'm gonna hope to get lucky. We'll see. I don't know. I have 200 some stones, more than 200 stones. Maybe we'll get lucky. Like, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. What I hope to get again is, out of these guys, I would really like to get 2 diamonds that aren't the same, with at least one of them being Shiro or SABER. Like, I could be Shiro Rin, or Shiro SABER, or SABER Rin, or I guess Shiro Gilgamesh. I just want one of the... I guess I'd be okay. If I got Rin Gilgamesh, I'd be like a little bit sad. If I got 2 Gilgameshes, I'd be really, really sad. But at least if I got Rin Gilgamesh, I'm in the middle. I'd be like, oh, it's like not bad. Like, you know, like I can play with Rin. A double shield leader, I have a lot of firelight things. It would work. Anyways, I would really, really like to have Shiro Rin, or maybe Shiro SABER, just because Rin would be good for my Shiro team. But at the same time, I do have a con and would make into Fire Con if I got Shiro. I have Ilmina. Probably could find some other firelight stuff in my box to put on there. Yeah. So that is my review of Fate, the Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel collab. Let me know what you're gonna do, who you're excited for, if you're gonna roll, if you're gonna buy the pack, who you want to roll, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.